We have Deidre Radford from Bombard Electric, Stan Hannell from Drive Clean Energy Las Vegas, and Annette Bubeck from Green Alliance. Uh, Deidre, tell us a little bit about your whole house concept and how you've used solar to power other things.
Okay. I have, of course, I have about a 4 kilowatt system on my house, and that takes care of my power bill. I also have an electric vehicle that I'm powering at my house. Most of the charge that I get comes from my house, so that's included in that. So that's what I've been able to do as far as my energy scenario is concerned. I power my car with my solar power system.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've always wondered if you've got a solar array that's producing 12 volts, basically a DC power, and then you convert it to an inverter to 120 volts, put it on the grid. Could you take a sideline and put 12-volt systems in your home? Could you put lighting or equipment, or I don't know what it would be, but is there a way to do that?
Well, you could do that electrically, I suppose, but really, if you have a net metered system, I'm not sure how that would be beneficial from a return on investment standpoint. Yeah. For me, I didn't do anything like that. I just plugged my electric car into the wall socket of my garage. Easy peasy, no crazy electrical stuff that had to be done.
Is it that simple?
It's
you
that
just got
simple.
A cord that just plugs into a
It's
regular
just a
outlet?
regular wall socket. That's what I use.
Is that right?
Yep.
Do you have any other high efficiency things you do or conservation
Well, I
efforts in
did
your
get
home?
a 16 SEER HVAC, so that was a couple of years ago. And what that did was that reduced my loads enough to where I could get the electric vehicle and still, operate at almost 100% offset.
Okay.
So that's what I was looking to do.
Great. That's wonderful. So I assume you have LED lights or compact fluorescents throughout your house.
I do. I have LEDs.
High efficiency refrigerators.
I do.
Okay.
I Energy Star, everything.
And what kind of electric vehicle do you have?
I have a Ford Focus EV, 100% electric.
How do you like driving that?
I love it.
Do you?
Yes, I do. It's wonderful. I like the way that car drives better than any car I've ever owned. The acceleration is incredible.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful. Yeah, it's got that electric vehicle torque. It's just the pickup on it is pretty intense.
I'll have to try that. And to take this a little further on electric vehicles, Stan's going to give us a little update. And this week I saw the advertisement online for the, I guess it's a concept still, the Volkswagen Bug. And it looked a lot like the original Bug, which a lot of the long hairs were driving back when I was a kid, except they've chromed it up. Nice.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, that's really shiny. Tell
nice
us about
wheels
that, Stan.
And all that. Yeah. Well, Volkswagen is moving towards. Actually, all the German automakers are going electric now. They were well renowned for diesel fuel vehicles, and but recently, with Volkswagen did get in a little issue with what they call a cheat device that violated the U.S. Clean Air Act standards. So from 2009 to 2015, there were about 500,000 TDI vehicles that were sold by Volkswagen Group. This was the Passat, the Jetta, and then by Audi also the Q3. And,
those were gasoline engine cars.
They were diesel
engine cars.
Yes, and and basically what happened was when the vehicles were being tested for a smog check in a smog station, when they were stationary and running at a certain speed, they would emit, fine. They would meet pass smog check and meet regulations. But when they went on the road, there was some adjustment that was being done through the computer system to actually tune up performance. And what was happening was when in real world driving conditions, the emissions were actually exceeding the Clean Air Act under the EPA. So the FTC discovered that and sued Volkswagen, and then the EPA also did a second suit. So that got the company in a lot of trouble. It really changed up their whole outlook, and they've changed their focus now, and now they're looking at going more in a direction with electric cars. They also see that China is a big market that's driving because of their pollution over there. They're getting really serious about putting solar panels and doing away with coal that they use to power just about everything there. So they want to go to solar panels and electric cars. And they also see a way to lead those markets to actually produce the solar panels and the electric cars over in China. There's about 20 electric car companies in China now making electric cars for their industry. And the China market is actually bigger than the U.S. market for automobile sales each year.
I guess that's a population issue, isn't it?
It sure is. There are 1.2 billion people over there and growing, and we're about 350 million or so. So they have about 4 times their population, about 4 times the market. Plus, they were a bicycle economy 40 years ago.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of people in China that have never owned their first car. So,
How many electric vehicle manufacturers in the United States, or how many are we buying from in the United States?
right, yeah. So basically, you have the big 2.5. I guess you've got GM and Ford, and then Chrysler as well. Mostly, it's been GM and Ford. GM's really been the driver during the economic downturn with the Chevrolet Volt. And now they're coming out with a Chevrolet Bolt, B-O-L-T EV, and that's a full electric car like the Ford Focus EV that Deidre mentioned, but it has a range of 238 miles instead of just 80 to 100 miles that the Ford Focus EV has. The price is going to be around, I think, $37K or $35K, and with a $7,500 battery tax credit, that should bring it down right around under 30,000 or so. And then the benefit is you have about 238 miles of range before you have to recharge, and you can also charge it on a DC fast charge system. So within the Nevada, we've been kind of working towards that. We saw electric cars coming in, and because of the synergy of solar panels and that sort of thing, we did see a benefit to trying to have electric cars out here. Adoption's been a little bit slow, maybe 2,700 vehicles actually registered, but the tourist industry has been a big driver too. So when Tesla Motors started selling its new Model S electric car, high-end car with 300-mile range, a lot of people in Los Angeles bought them, and the first thing they wanted to do was drive it out of state. So Tesla started putting supercharger stations around the country every 200 miles. It was almost a rite of passage that people from LA had to drive up to Las Vegas. We were the very first destination outside California. So a lot of folks, we would get a lot of tourism, and that was really embraced by MGM, Caesars, Las Vegas Sands, who installed the charging stations in their valet lots and their parking lots, and then also a supercharging station was installed in downtown Las Vegas, like the very first one on Bridger Street and between 7th and 8th Street down there. So there's actually 6 supercharger stations that are available for someone driving over from LA, and they can recharge what's like an 80 kilowatt hour to 100 kilowatt hour battery pack in about an hour, hour and a half, something like that. So it brings tourism to ecotourism to Las Vegas as well. So there's a lot of benefits we see with that.
That's great. And I know that we talked earlier this last week at a Green Alliance dinner about the electric highway, and to give Volkswagen a little bump back since they got spanked on this emissions issue, they are being talked to about a huge grant to help build that electric highway. And I know that Tesla has put some money into an electric highway as well. Tell us a little bit about that, Stan.
Yeah, so the idea is that, say we want to drive from Las Vegas to Reno, we've only got, it's about a 300, 400 mile journey. So you want to be able to fill up quickly. And so with these DC fast charge systems, we hope to have every 100 miles or so a fast charge system that could go anywhere from 20 minutes up to an hour and get you from 100 miles up to 300 miles. But we'll see that's coming along. There should be 28 of those DC fast charge stations on all the Nevada electric highways to interconnect all 5 states around us if that goes into effect.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing that. That's going to be a great time. And that's all the time we have now, so tune in next week to Shades of Green by Green Alliance, and we'll talk more about sustainability and all things green. Thank you all very much for being here today.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Paul.